discussion regarding our top moments of when the worlds of pro wrestling and Disney have collided. And be sure to check out show number 565 to check out the first half of where we talk about wrestling and the Carousel of Progress and World Championship Wrestling and Disney MGM Studios.
That's right.
Very nice.
Great, awesome stories. So when we left off, Danny had tossed it over to me with Hulk Hogan.
That's right. He was supposed to come in and take over the match, and instead he said, I'll see you next week.
That is exactly right.
And I got my ass whooped.
I'm going to lead next week.
Left me hanging.
Yes.
Boom.
Hulk Hogan was a huge name, and still is a huge name in professional wrestling through the 80s, through the 90s, all through today. And although I was not an OG Hulkamaniac in the 1980s,
Neither was I.
Neither was I. I always look forward to his matches, though.
Yeah.
I liked his matches because it was probably pretty good. I was an Ultimate Warrior fan.
I mean, but what about WrestleMania 3 when he slammed Andre the Giant? What were about that?
Oh, that was good. I mean,
I wasn't really watching it then. Yeah.
I watched it and it was,
I was watching the Von Erichs in 83.
That's fair. That's fair.
So look, in 1993, Hulk Hogan left the WWF to pursue a career in film and television, which is where his main Disney encounter began. And if you visited Walt Disney World in the 90s, Thunder in Paradise is something you would have heard a bunch of on the Disney MGM Studios Backlot Tour.
Yes, I have heard of that.
I know you know the show. Thunder in Paradise is a TV series which started as a direct-to-TV movie, oddly enough, in the 90s, in September 1993, produced by the creators of Baywatch.
Really?
Yes, Baywatch.
I never saw Pamela Anderson in any episode.
But you had babes and bathing suits and adventure in this time. That was the difference.
That was happening. But it was a hot boat.
It was a hot boat.
Baywatch had no hot boat.
If they had a Pamela Anderson, they may have made it past one season.
To be fair, I was a Yasmin Bleeth fan. But
Yasmin Bleeth was
I had the poster.
Yeah. Look, after which it aired for only one season, from March 25th, 1994 to November 27th, 1994, which are dates which are very important to the story. During this time, Hulk Hogan was the prominent star.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
Now, Eli, remember that you always have a positive reaction whenever Thunder in Paradise is mentioned on the show. And so, needless to say, just to make it clear, you are familiar with this show.
I love this episode.
You do.
I loved the episode before that, but I'm about to love this one now. Yes.
Well, look, for listeners at home, I'm gonna I'm gonna play this in studio for Eli. I'm gonna play the intro music or the intro scene, part of it at least, for Eli, so that he can relive. But you're probably gonna get a snippet. And we're going to get his reaction. So here you go, Eli.
Yeah,
this is for you, sir. This is in studio. I'm playing him the entire intro to Thunder in Paradise.
Rumbling.
The margaritas rumbling.
Oh, yeah. Right?
All the drinks are rumbling.
Like back then, it's like, oh, boy, what's going on? The
babes are going like, what the hell is that?
It's hit the water, right?
It's a T-Rex.
What is that?
The T-Rex. That's what happens when the string shakes.
That's the Carnotaurus.
Yes. That was a big thing. That was a big thing back then. And they're on the boat, but their boat does not have the strength of thunder.
No.
Boom.
Boom.
Oh, my goodness.
That boat was killer, right? That was a bigger boat than most people have the boat.
There you go.
Yeah. That one used to...
Look at that one.
I don't know if I can comment on this, but it's like it. So it's like Hulk Hogan, a wrestler, but his partner
was not a wrestler. Yes.
So when I saw this guy, I'm like, well, at least I could take Hulk Hogan seriously as the action hero.
When I saw this, I thought it was the T2 from Terminator. Like I thought it was Robert
Patrick.
There you go.
It looked like him. Yeah. No, it was very, very close.
Totally recognized this guy. That's why I thought this show killed me. Is because when this guy would do action, I was like, but you were trying to romance this chick the last show you were on. Whereas Hulk Hogan, of course, fought Andre the Giant. He wrestled with Mr. T.
Oh, sure, yeah.
He wrestled Roddy. I don't need to go on, but yeah. Hulk Hogan sold this show for me.
Well, he was the main star, and Hogan himself described the show as Baywatch with action and adventure.
And he's accurate. Yeah.
He's accurate. Okay.
Totally accurate. No David Hasselhoff running like boat action.
Boat action, yes. And he played the character of Randolph Hurricane Spencer. Mm-hmm. And in case you're not familiar with it like Eli, Thunder in Paradise follows the adventures of two ex-Navy SEALs, Hurricane Spencer, as I mentioned, and Brew Breaker, who used their high-tech, super-fast boat called Thunder which is funny to me because I used to love Blue Thunder, the helicopter.
Oh yeah, with Rob Snyder. The
Yes,
dude from
Rob
Jaws.
Snyder, exactly. Yes.
Yes.
I like the Riptide helicopter the best, but yeah.
And the Riptide boat. Everybody had a boat back then. But like you couldn't beat Thunder. Like in this show, like everything would end with them getting in the boat. Of course, the bad guys
they had
would
to have the
escape.
boat.
Right.
Had to have the boat.
You have to escape. And so then like they would jump in Thunder, and of course Thunder would kill the
Thunder
other boat.
roar and make like hot women's margaritas rattle.
Right. Chicks were like, oh my God.
Yes.
And like Thunder would like crash the other bad guy's boat.
But you know what's cute about this? They worked hard to maintain a balance between their dangerous undercover work with raising Spencer's young stepdaughter, Jessica.
Okay.
All the while dealing with romantic entanglements with Kelly LaRue, the owner of Scuttlebutt Bar and Grill.
That's right.
Oh, the
Scuttlebutt.
Scuttlebutt, yeah.
Scuttlebutt for local New Orleanians or Louisianans has a totally different context than in this movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we won't say it, but it's kind of adult.
It's in
Yeah.
Slidell, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Or used to be in Slidell.
Well, if
It's
you
not
pay a
closed.
visit, then you get some Thunder then. But okay, never mind. Please go on, Kevin.
All right, so
Yes.
what did all that have to do with Disney?
Yeah, look, so see, back in those days, as Danny mentioned, Disney, and make sure you check that out on the previous show, Disney was touting itself as Disney MGM, a working television, film, and animation studio, which basically served to offset the influence of what was then known as Universal Studios Florida, which is now Universal Studios Orlando.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's obvious. I knew when they opened that park, that was what they were doing. Anyway, the initial movie was filmed in St. Petersburg, Florida, the initial Thunder in Paradise movie, in around the Don Cesar Hotel, is what it was named.
Oh, that's fancy.
When it became a television series, the production moved to the Walt Disney World Resort. Now, Eli, you watched the show, and if anybody else out there watched the show, it became a huge game of where in the world am I as filming took place around property. And I'm talking like the Grand Floridian Resort was the home base.
Oh,
Yes, that's right.
So cool.
They would ride in the background. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
they were in MGM Studio sound stages. There was a time where they approached Discovery Island.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was Fort Wilderness Campground, Old Key West, and Epcot Center was a choice location due to Future World's futuristic theme, as well as various themes and designs of the countries of World Showcase.
River Country was another one.
Yeah, River Country was all over that. Yeah.
Kevin, you
filmed
filmed back
everywhere.
Right now. You taking me back.
I told Danny, I was like, I'd watch this just to see all the different things, but you had mentioned might be kind of a pain in the butt.
It's
a lot.
It's a lot of bad acting to get around, but when
That's
you
fair.
start getting
Bad acting, you say?
Yeah. Well, they're wrestlers, not actors.
This is true. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Please, sir, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that yes, it was a Where's Waldo of watching a TV program, because you would be like, oh my, they're at Typhoon Lagoon. Oh wow, they're at the Living Seas.
What's the aqua? What's the thing? It was like the elevator. What's that called? God,
Oh, you're talking about the Living Seas, yes, where
Yeah.
they had the little
the elevator would go up. God, dog, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Hydrolator.
Hydrolator?
The
Hydrolator.
hydrolators,
Thank
yes.
you. Yeah.
No, not really. The hydrolator was like the phony thing that you got into that made it look like you were going somewhere. This was when you were actually at Sea Base Alpha.
But you would see it because
Yes, and you would see them rise up through that. Yeah,
because there's a whole scene. I didn't want to spoil it if Kevin was getting to it, but yeah, you're right. There's a lot of Disney property references.
there's
in those
so much.
episodes.
It's a time capsule. It's like that's exactly what it is. It's like a time capsule of
It is.
1990s Disney, where all of a sudden you're seeing.
The two things you love the most, wrestling and Disney. If you
If you were into that,
if you're
yeah,
into that,
absolutely, yeah.
if you know who's what. But yeah,
By all means, guys, it's tough. It really is hard to watch the acting. But
it is.
if you
It
can
is.
stomach it, you will see a lot of vintage. There's a whole scene where he's having dinner with a lady friend at the Victoria and Albert's.
Mhm.
It is a veritable, every episode is, where are they in Disney now?
Totally. All
Literally,
Disney
yes.
property. All
Indiana
the time.
Jones Stunt Spectacular. They did a whole thing there as well.
That's amazing.
That's
Yeah.
when they landed in the sand or something. They would try to take over some mercenaries or something.
And
It
they
was
kicked
on
some
the beach.
Germans.
I got to be honest with you, bud. I ain't.
That's fair. That's fair. I watched it too much.
You would know- you would know
I
more
watched
than
it
the
too
rest of
much.
us.
You would know, definitely.
Well-
I've seen this in
Yeah,
passing.
I'm crazy.
And look, for those that were non-wrestling fans, the most significant piece where you would have heard Thunder in Paradise is on the backlot Studios tour. And so I'm going to play a clip for you guys listening, and as well as for the people in the studio. I'm sharing the screen so they can see this. This is the one mention of Thunder in Paradise, which they seem to throw in every tour during that time, which I
There
fondly
really
remember.
wasn't a lot going on.
There wasn't. It
You
was
just
not.
breaking the gladness, Kevin.
It is, man.
It was Roger Rabbit and Thunder.
And Thunder in Paradise, exactly.
Roger Rabbit and Thunder in Paradise would have been